Going down and the rig is on. iRacing is where I belong. Discord's lit and the drivers are here. This is GEC, there's no room for fear. Green flag drops and the engines roar. 40 cars and we all want more. Mash the gases, we're on the line. Four wide and we're feeling fine. Close in a slipstream dance, taking the cars in a high-speed trance. Try oval side by side in this GEC league. There's nowhere to
Welcome to the Collateral Damage Sports Network Truck Series here on the GEC Racing League YouTube channel. We are in Richmond for the I Can See My House From Here 100 at Richmond. And that is true. From right about here, if you look off into the horizon, you can indeed see my house from here, about 5 miles off the track. It's my hometown, my home track. Super excited for the racing here. I am Shane Cochran. With me as always is Lee Kiernan. Lee, how are you doing tonight?
Doing really well. Looking forward to seeing the guys take on this track. It looks like it's going to be a little slippery out there tonight. It'll be interesting to see how well they handle coming off those turns.
Yeah, Richmond, a super fun track. We're running 100 laps tonight. Fuel window, almost 80 laps. So fuel probably not going to be a factor, but it's all about tires. You know, at some tracks, tires give you a tenth. Here at Richmond, you're talking seconds between fresh and old tires. So every chance these drivers get, they're going to want to come down pit road. They've got 5 additional sets on there. So I would expect every caution you're going to see the smart drivers come get tires so that they can drive back by everybody else. As I mentioned, it is not too hot here. A little bit cloudy, 73 in the air, 84 on the track. And this is at the Richmond Raceway. We're going to have a lot of fun here tonight. Drivers have just started qualifying. We're going to be taking a look around the track, getting ready for this 100-lap race. Race 7 here in Season 8 of the CDSN Truck Series, part of the GEC Racing League. And I hope you're ready for this one because Richmond puts you door to door every lap. You've got to fight and claw for every position. We were just talking before the broadcast about how tricky it is to get out of turn 2. If you get too high, you go right into the wall. Or the car and truck is tight. But if you try to cut it down too short, it's going to spin right around on you. The other place I think is tricky is not actually turn 4, but kind of like the middle of the front stretch. That front stretch arcs all the way around. It's kind of like a turn 5 here at Richmond. And you've got to be feathering the throttle all the way down the front stretch to keep the car from turning around on you.
Yeah, what I'm seeing already from practice and are we under qualifying yet? I think we are. Is that a lot of people are getting loose in the middle of 2 and carrying it to the end of 2. It also looks like the the trucks are a line higher than we were in the Cup cars. So that's interesting.
It could be. Taking a look at practice results, Michael Boyd leading those practice with a lap time of 21.11. Kyle Simmons, John Anthony, Josh Eller, and Ryan Moutre, the other drivers in the top 5 here in practice. And as the drivers are wrapping up qualifying, we're going to go ahead and have our national anthem here tonight, and then we will join you right after for the starting grid here at the RIchmond Raceway.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And that was the Cochran Crooner with our national anthem. Bryce Borer going to start on the pole here on the front row at RIchmond. He's won 4 races already this season. He'd run 4 in a row until last week when Blake Henderson spoiled the party. But he is out front again this week. He's going to be the truck to beat, as he has been for most of the season.
Just looking back where Henderson qualified 246th by the looks of things. Got Boyd up there next to Bohr. And Boyd's actually going to be my pick tonight. So I'm going to get in quick and pick him there tonight. I know you picked him last night, last week.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Klaus Brahm. He has just really been on the charge here early in the season. I think he's due for some good luck. He had a podium earlier, just a couple races ago. I'm feeling good about Klaus.
It's going to be really interesting the first few laps of this. I'm pretty excited actually to see how well we get through these first 5-10 laps and see what shakes out there.
Having some issues with our grid graphic here at the moment. Doesn't look like the tower is showing either. We might need to do a reset here on our graphics.
Just while you're doing that, I'll go through the top 10 just really quickly. We've got Bohr, followed by Boyd, Goldman in 3rd, Eller in 4th, followed by Brahm in 5th. And we're go. And it looks like Boyd has the inside running on Boyd at the moment. Paul keeps it down low there. Boyd has
We've got a
lot
car
of
going
drive
around
off the
in the
top.
back. That is Simmons. Or is it Chris Jones? Both of them have lost a couple positions here on this lap under caution. Let's take a look. Chris Jones, the first driver I'm seeing with an issue in that 4 truck. I don't know if we need it to be this slow motion. Yeah, Simmons gets tagged by the 71, and then the 4 goes around in the back collecting somebody back there. Let's see that again from Chris Jones's perspective. Yeah, I think he just got hard on the brakes reacting to Simmons, and then right there, the 73, I think that's Lister, tags him on the way by. Hopefully not too much damage for anyone involved in this early caution on lap 1.
There's a couple of guys I want to keep my eye on back in the pack a little bit at the moment. Just before we go green here, and it will be quick because these laps are so short here, and that is Griffin and Seawright. Seawright's back in 8th right now. He's been the biggest mover all year. And then Griffin, I think we'll find Griffin will fight his way to the front as well. So they're in 7th and 8th right now.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about the point standings in pre-race. Bryce Borer is the leader with those 4 wins, 5 podiums, but it's Josh Ryder and Jamie Griffin following behind him. There's a big gap between first and second, 45 points. But then every position after that is right on top of each other. So the top 2nd through 4th separated by just 2 points. Then Michael Boyd in 5th. He's just a handful of points behind them. Sahadak as well. Anthony and Seawright tied there for 7th. It is a tight field other than the leader Bryce Borer with all those wins, but we still have 4 races to go in the regular season, and then the points are going to reset for the playoffs. And we're calling it the playoffs, but it's really more of the chase. You know, with NASCAR changing up their point system this year, most leagues I'm aware of have done the same, and so have we. So it's going to be kind of the more of a chase than a playoffs. We've been doing that for a couple seasons, though, here at GEC, so not a huge change to the playoffs. Really, the big change is that we don't have a win and you're in scenario to get into the playoffs anymore.
Lights are off in the pace car. We'll be ready for ready to go here.
I want to thank everybody tuning in on the GEC Racing League YouTube channel. Let us know who you're pulling for in the chat, who you think's going to win if it's any different, and anything else that's on your mind. If you're looking for a good karaoke bar right outside to turn 4 about 3 miles down the road, you find a Lakeside Tavern. Karaoke every night of the week. Can't go wrong. We're racing again. It's Bryce Borer out front, leading Michael Boyd and 22 other drivers here around the Richmond Raceway. Boyd giving Borer a run for his money. He's on the bottom. And he's going to take the lead, 21 to the front.
That was a power move.
Michael Boyd racing
Bryce.
out of Clearwater, Florida, and he gets loose and saves it.
Oh my gosh, that was so close. Good job, Boyd.
And here comes
wanna
Eller
lose
in the
my-
69.
I didn't want to lose my pick so early.
Here comes Borer
Looks like
now.
Jamie.
He's on the inside.
And Jamie's made his way up to 6th. Henderson in 5th, last week's winner.
What is Eller going to do? With these two side by side, he's got an opportunity to make a move. You know, we raced at Richmond last Thursday here in the GEC NPC Cup Series. And I would, you know, coming into the race, I thought the low line is where you'd want to be. But then once the race started, it was really the high line was preferred. You're just able to kind of cramp the style of that inside driver and take away their turn exit. We'll see how that plays out right here as Boyd continues to battle on the outside of Bryce Borer.
We've got Ellis sitting back there in third, who's cranked out the quickest time of a 22.214.
Yeah, why don't we take that front row seat here with the 69 of Josh Eller, driving for Georgia Line Racing. He's got Borer and Boyd out front.
Well, somebody I want to point out who's really good on these short tracks, and that's Goldman. You see him in fourth right now. And he looks really strong here right now.
Oh, we've got our second caution of the night, the 43 car involved. That's Ryan Jones here on lap 11. We'll see what happened to Ryan right here. Really kind of all by himself. Just got loose out of turn 2. We talked about it earlier. Wow, great driving there. I believe that's the 50 of David Culleton that was just able to avoid the 43. Go back and see if we can see that from David's point of view.
Which side? Which side? Oh.
Yeah, just great driving. He does tag the wall ever so slightly, but that's going to be all right.
Yeah.
So 2 cautions already. Well, we were just talking about Gallman. So Ken Gallman, whether you're watching the Cup Series or the Truck Series, a father-son duo. I believe this is Gallman Sr. racing in the Truck Series.
It is.
And
yep.
I was also impressed by Gallman Jr. in the Cup race at Richmond. Both of these Gallman drivers showing their short track prowess. Really impressing. Me, anyway. I was out on the track.
Yep.
Did not have the race go my way, but still had a ton of fun.
Yeah, it was a good race last Thursday. This Thursday, I think we're off to Is it Knoxville?
Kentucky, yeah.
Kentucky.
Or, yeah, not. Kind of back to the traditional 1.5 miles after a couple weeks at road courses and short tracks.
And it doesn't look like there's any damage there on Culleton's truck. Looks pretty healthy.
So nobody coming to pit road just yet. You got plenty of tires compared to the fuel window we mentioned. The fuel window about 80 laps. The whole race is only 100, so on fuel you only need to come in once, but I mean, especially if I was a driver at the back of this pack, I would have come down pit road. But right now, the only drivers that did that are Hayes and Osborne. So they will be starting in the rear of the field, the 82 and the 79. They're going to have 12-lap fresher tires.
Such a short track. I would be if this goes green, I'll be taking only right side tires. If we came into the pits rather than all 4.
If it stays green, that's a big if.
Yeah, it is.
Here at Richmond.
It is right now.
So Michael Boyd out front, that 21 truck retakes the lead in front of Borer, and now it's Eller to the inside of that 57 truck.
Goldman looks racy back there in 4th. And Ellis up the inside of Bryce. Ooh, not quite.
Yeah, 57 able to clear him and get to the bottom there in turn 3. And he carries a big head of steam out of the turn as well. He's up to the bumper of Michael Boyd.
That was a good corner for him.
A little bit of contact in the back between Hayes and Prim. Everybody's still moving in the right direction, I think. Actually, it looks like
Prim might have gone around.
Yeah, Prim lost the field significantly. Let's go back and see if we can get a look at that real quick. Here it is, 82 in the 24. Yeah, That'll slow you down a little bit. But Prim able to get that truck turned back around, stay on the lead lap. He's about 3/4 of a lap behind the leader now. And he's going to be driving for his life. Going laps down here at Richmond is so easy if you have an issue or pick up a penalty or anything like that. And the problem is, you know, you can't just hope to get the lucky dog. There's going to be a handful of other drivers going laps down with you that'll be fighting for that same path back to the lead lap.
Our first 2 drivers are locked together here right now.
It looks like our best battle is back here between Anthony, Brom, and Hughes. We do have a good bit of, I think we have 5 drivers sharing their webcams here with us tonight. Ryder, Brom, Sahadak, Henderson, and Griffin. As you can see that they are all locked in right now.
Yeah, that's an awesome shot. That shot, looking at all those guys.
Griffin up to 6th. He's got Henderson. Oh, and it looks like David Culleton just picked up a black flag. I'm not sure why he would have gotten it now. Here on lap, let's see, lap 16 for him. I'm showing him 6 laps down. I'm not sure why. We saw him avoid that wreck earlier. And then I think he got on pit road and was speeding doing so. So his night going from bad to worse. As Gallman appears to clear Henderson and now starts working on Eller. The top 2 have pulled away. They're side by side with a 2-second gap back to Eller.
Looks like Bohr likes the inside lane here.
I was going to say, we saw him take
last
that
night
inside
in the
lane.
cars. Yeah, he was liking it too. Sorry about that.
No, go on. I didn't have a chance to see the ARCA race last night here at the GEC Racing League. So how did that play out?
He was at New Hampshire, and he was driving it. He was the only ARCA car down on the bottom line for the first third of the race, and then some of the other guys started to go down there. But he had the bottom line working really, really well. He actually won it, but it was a very close race between, I believe it was him and Osborne, and I think it was Justin Harris.
And there's our 3rd caution of the night. I believe this is Simmons and Lister both involved. Only 14 incident points so far in the race, but 3 cautions. We'll go back and take a look at what happened to Simmons and Lister. Yeah, looks like they just got together coming off the turn. I think we're going to back that up and take another look. So coming down the front stretch, we jump on board with Simmons. Oh, and Lister with a huge checkup. And that is classic Richmond. That driver on the outside realizes about 80% through the turn that he is not going to make it without going into the wall hard. He has to check up, and there's really nowhere for Simmons to go. Even if he lets off the throttle, that truck's trajectory is pretty much already decided.
Now, see our a lot of people on pit road right now.
Yeah, and look at this. One driver stays out. That's Dakota Osborne. He came down, let's see, 15 laps ago on lap 12. We mentioned him as one of the only drivers to get fresh tires early on. The 2 drivers that got fresh tires did not come marching through the field at all, but it did give Osborne the opportunity to stay out here. And if we pick up a few more cautions, I mean, technically Osborne probably doesn't even need to pit for fuel. Although I'm sure somewhere between here and lap 100, somebody behind him is going to get fresher tires, and he's going to need to.
I don't know if Bryce has a problem at the moment. Can you just go to Bryce quickly for us?
Let's see, yeah, he's
Looks
back
like
in 8th and dropping.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's having technical problems or if he's got a black flag.
I don't see a black flag there for the 57. But he is oddly slow. Anything on the radio you're hearing?
No, I'm not hearing anything, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, no black flag showing there for the 57, but he is dropping back through the field. You know, it's almost like he's been given an EOL.
Yeah, I could have missed that, but
So there goes Borer to the back. We've got 1 to green as the drivers are coming around the front stretch, now the back stretch. So it's going to be Osborne out front with Michael Boyd to his outside, then Blake Henderson and Kenneth Gallman in row 2, Jamie Griffin and Jonah Seawright third in line. And there they go. Green flags in the air. Again, it's Dakota Osborne out front using pit strategy to get there. Stayed out under this last caution while everybody else came down pit road. And here comes Henderson.
Yeah, what a great strategy by Dakota.
Henderson to the inside of the leader. There goes Osborne really high in 3 and 4, but he is making it work. What a head of steam he got out of turn 4. Now Griffin all over the back bumper of the 25. We're going to jump on board with Jamie Griffin as he is watching the leaders race just in front of him. He's running in 4th.
Tight here between Henderson and Boyd.
That clean air is really paying off for Osborne. Even with the older tires, doesn't seem to be an issue. It was just 15 laps difference, but there goes Henderson trying to get by Boyd.
Jamie's creeping up there. He's crept up into 4th there now.
Yeah, this lead pack is all over the place. You've got Eller and Ryder side by side, and now they're going to be 3 wide. Coming out of turn 4, Boyd in the middle, Osborne up high, Henderson down low. And if you're Jamie Griffin, you got to be licking your lips and saying, let me in, guys. But look at this. Chris Jones just picks up a meatball flag. Heavy contact for the 4. Somewhere back in the pack. And he is already straight to pit road. We'll take a look at that in just a second when this battle for the lead settles down. Osborne has dropped back to 3rd as Henderson and Boyd get by. We've got heavy contact between Hayes and Sahadak, and that's going to be our 4th caution of the night. Let's start by going back to see what happened to Chris Jones.
Looks like he got loose coming off 2.
That 4 truck, this will be the 2nd incident for him, just like you said. Loose off of 2 and hard into that inside wall. He's going to jump straight to pit road from there.
Yeah.
Then it was Stephen Hayes involved. Here he tags the wall and then comes down across the nose of Sahadak. And everybody behind him able to avoid it. So I'm not sure there was all that much contact between, you know, all that much damage, that is to say, for Hayes or the 00 of Walt Sahadak.
Could we go on board with Sahadak just as he took that bump?
Let's see, that's on board with Hayes. Let's switch over to Walt.
There we go. That's Walt.
Yeah, Hayes just gets into the wall and that truck is instantly loose.
That wall came up very quick for Walt there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I said, I think we were in the pre-race and we were talking about it. The front stretch is not straight at all, and it's not a tri-oval or anything like that where you kind of cut the corner. It's like a fifth turn at this racetrack where your truck never really gets full grip into the rear tires coming out of 4, and if you get a little squirrely, you get a little contact or tag the wall like the 82 did, that truck goes right around and gets loose on you.
Looks like the 4 truck's back.
Now, we still haven't really heard anything about why the 57 dropped to the back under that last caution. He is up to 16th at the moment.
Dangerous times for these leaders when they have to come back through the pack, because it's very tough.
Again, let's check in with our webcam drivers tonight. Sahadak picking up some damage under that last one. Maybe looking a little frustrated. Brahm locked in as always. Ryder looks like he's having fun. He's certainly chatting it up with his crew chief. And Henderson looks like it's the last lap. He is stone cold focused here as we are getting that 1 to go back to green here on lap 40.
Henderson's on the front row here with Boyd.
So Osborne, the top 3 just kind of shuffled around here. Osborne was in the lead on that last restart. Now he's back to 3rd. Griffin now up to that 2nd row on the outside. Then Ryder and Eller behind him. Pace truck comes down pit road. And we're racing again. Michael Boyd takes that green flag. He's going to jump up in front of Henderson already. Osborne tries to follow. Top 3 now single file. And that's Ryder shoots by Griffin up to 4th. We're going to jump on board with the 32 and watch this battle for the lead. Looking at Ryder's night, he starts back in 12th and has just been gaining positions steadily throughout the night, now up to 4th. Oh, he has to check up a little bit there.
You can just feel coming off turn 2 how loose the truck is. Here we go again, right at the exit of this turn 2. Right about here.
Ooh, and he does tag the wall slightly. That's going to let Griffin do his inside.
We've got one around. We've got 51 as around.
That's Marcus Chafin, and that will bring out the yellow. 5th caution of the night here on lap 44. Marcus Chafin. See what happened to him there in the 51 from our GEC blimp. It just gets loose. That's the same thing we saw a couple other drivers have an issue with coming out of turn 2. If you get too much wheel into it and get that truck down near the bottom, it just goes around on you.
Yeah, it's very difficult turn 2. As you just said, if you go a little bit lower and carry the same amount of speed, you lose the back end.
So we do have
that speaking from experience.
We do have a couple drivers jumping down pit road. The most significant is Osborne. He's going to drop out of the top 3 to hit pit road here on lap 45. With him is Simmons, Sahadak, Prim, Hayes, and Chafin.
I liked that move earlier because that got him a point. So, cheap point.
That's right, bonus point for leading the lap. We look at, right now, only 3 drivers have led a lap tonight. Michael Boyd with the most at 29, and Bryce Bohr with 9, and Osborne with 7.
You just mentioned Bohr, and Bohr's up. I just looked, and Bohr's up to 11th. um, right behind Anthony and Ella.
Yeah, just not. We still haven't heard any news about why he dropped to the back. It sure looked like an EOL. But I mean, I don't think he was 20 trucks away from the cause of that caution. So it's going to be Michael Boyd out front, Blake Henderson in second, Josh Ryder third, Jamie Griffin fourth, and Jonah Seawright your top five. We're about halfway through this race, Lee. This is going fast.
Yeah, wow, really. Even with all those yellows, because we've had a few yellows, but
Henderson, last week's winner. He's looking to go 2 in a row here on the front row. Another driver to keep your eye on is that 44 of Moutre. He's been pretty fast. Not sure he's had the finishes he's looking for just yet, but no, I think he was on the podium at I can't remember what track that was, but I think it's just a number of races hurting his points standings. That 44 up there in the top 6 right now. Green flag is back out. Michael Boyd to the lead. Ryder as high as he's been all day, trying to get by Henderson for second.
everyone navigated turn 2 safely. The leader all year has got the jump on the field, no matter who's been in the lead. And once again, we see Boyd jump out to a small lead here over Henderson. Man, what a great camera angle that is.
Well, Eller has to check up, as does Borer behind him. Got drivers all over the place there on the backstretch, fanning out to avoid that checkup. Right now we're watching Borer battling with Eller. That's a battle for 8th. Just in front of them is Seawright battling with the 44 of Moutre. That's for 5th. And you talked about it a little bit, Lee. Seawright, the driver in the league with the most passes on the season and the most positions gained on average every race. 8 positions gained by that 15 truck. And right now he's up 3 positions from where he started, running in the top 5. And there goes Borer. Big wiggle out of that 57. He's going to lose a number of positions.
As we've seen all season long, Borer puts it in there, isn't scared of getting too sideways, but always seems to be able to gather it under control and then mount another charge. This looks like what he's doing again today.
As we jump on board with the driver of the 41, that's Klaus Brahm. That chart not looking in the direction he's going to want. He's down 8 positions from where he started the race. Right here he's battling with Osborne, Borer in front of him, Wesley Lister out back.
Yeah, I've got a funny feeling he's just trying to keep it clean. But you can't wait too long in this race. We're, as you just said, we're just over halfway already.
Jamie has caught the back of Ryder in this battle for 3rd. Looked like there was a car in the wall behind him. Hughes in the 9. He's going to lose a couple positions. Borer now up to 7th. We saw him get really loose, but he's recovered nonetheless. There's a gap now in front of him up to Moutre.
Once again, the first 2 have pulled away a little bit over Griffin. So Boyd and Henderson have pulled away. They've got about a 1.47 second lead over Griffin at the moment.
We're going to go on board with the driver of the 25, last week's winner, Blake Henderson. As he tries to chase down leader Michael Boyd.
Shane, what I like to see in Blake here is he looks so relaxed. He doesn't look tense, even though this is a very loose track. He's nice and relaxed.
Having fun. Richmond's a race where you can really have fun as long as you don't get into the wall early. And he's doing it right now. Driver of the 25. Now 0.8 of a second between him and Boyd out front. Looks like the best battles are back here around 7th. Bohr to the inside of Moutre. Man, he's going to take it.
One we need to keep an eye on is Osborne. Osborne's made his way back up to 9th position.
That's right.
After pitting. It's only 3 behind Bohr here.
Ooh, Seawright tags the wall as the 57 goes by to his inside. Ooh,
Moutre, hold on to it. Whoa.
Here comes Bohr up beside Ryder in the 32. This is for 4th place now.
Yeah, Bohr's pushing really hard here. All season long, I've had the impression that when he goes low, that he'll use his tires up, but he doesn't seem to. Boyd and Henderson are out front. Obviously, they can conserve their tires a little bit more. They've got a bit over 2-second lead over Jamie right now. Jamie's in 3rd, followed by Bohr, and then Seawright and Moutre. Osborne just got past, I believe it's Goldman, and got up to 8th. See Bohr chasing down Jamie here.
Klaus Brahm continuing to struggle here back around the battle for 12th. About 6 trucks in this battle right now. Gallman and Eller out front.
I've got a funny feeling Klaus is just trying to keep his nose clean and stay out of trouble. And once it gets too aggressive for him, he just backs off and just lets them go.
Ryder and Seawright battling for 6th place. Seawright tries to get by him on the outside. Ryder now hugging that line down low. He's got Osborne in his mirror. This is a great 3-truck battle for 6th place.
Boyd just got past Jamie. Sorry about that, Shane. But
yeah, no problem. Oh, but then he got loose.
Yeah.
We're going to take a lap back here as these two were side by side. This is 1 lap ago. Bohr to the outside. And then Griffin really throws it in, and yeah, I think that's on the 5 right there. Bohr with a great save, though.
Great save, Bohr.
And here he comes back to the inside this time.
I would think Jamie just let him through there.
Certainly don't want to give the 57 any excuse to punch you out of the way. So Bohr up to third. It's a 4-second gap to the leader, Michael Boyd. Ryan Moutre trying to follow him through there. He's in fifth now, behind Griffin.
The braking on the entrance to 3 seems so critical. Like, it feels like if you miss your braking mark just by a couple of feet, it feels like you end up in the high line. You being a local, is that what you know?
To me, I think it's less about when you get on the brakes and more about where your nose is pointed.
Yeah,
it's so important to get that truck pointed down to the yellow line on entry. And when you brake kind of matters more mid-turn, as if you're too late on the brakes, you're just going to drift up at the middle of the turn. But on the entry, it's all about angle. And I think that's what happened to Griffin there. It was maybe he was focused on battling with Bohr and just, hit his braking mark, but missed his turn-in point.
These trucks are a lot more aero sensitive as well, so that might have taken some air off him as well, or he might have just missed his mark, but yeah.
This is a battle between Seawright and Ryder for 7th. Seawright only up 1 position from the start of the race. Ryder up 4. When we take a look at the biggest gainers, it's Ryan Moutre and Marcus Chafin, who are the double-digit gainers in the race. Moutre in the top 5, but Chafin still back in 12th. 44 looking to get another position. He has made it to the bumper of Jamie Griffin. Looking inside.
Yeah, I see that Osborne's also got his way up to, what is he now, 6th at the moment, past Seawright. So he's still on the march forward.
Yeah, he's got the most interesting position chart through the night. Hits early, the second caution, drops all the way to the back to 22nd, then stays out 2 cautions later, drops or jumps all the way to the lead and stays there and leads 7 laps before kind of doing the same strategy again, get those fresh tires off cycle, drops back into the field, and he's just been steadily moving forward under these green flag conditions. Great drive there for the 79.
I want to see this go green here for a bit and see if these guys can make a green flag pit stop, because I'll be interested to see who only takes 2.
Well, right now, the longest that a driver has been on track is 50 laps. That would be our leaders. And there's only 23 to go. The fuel window is 75 to 80. They don't have to stop again, even if this stays green.
There you go. Okay.
So it's all about tires right here. And there goes Simmons diving down low, and then he has to check up and give it right back. Still a 4/10 lead between Boyd and Henderson out front. Then a 2.5 seconds back to Bohr in third. But the best racing on track is right here in the battle for 8th.
We got Goldman, Anthony, and Simmons. Just in front of them, is that Anthony? Is that Griffin in front of them?
I think it's Gallman, Seawright, and Ryder.
Seawright, right.
Griffin running 5th. He's about 5 seconds ahead of this battle.
Got it.
And again, this is just 21 laps remain here in the I Can See My House From Here 100.
It's getting tight back there. It's very tight with Chafin and Simmons. Love the paint job on Simmons' truck here tonight.
They're 3 wide now down the front stretch, and Seawright in the middle. He's going to blink out. That's not going to help it.
Oh my gosh.
And he passes both of them. I think they might have both said, hey, I don't want to be there when he comes back.
And 2 of them went into the wall.
And there goes Simmons down low. He's going to get to the inside of Gallman. Yeah, this is wild racing here. Back around 7th position. And Bohr is starting to make time. He's gaining about a couple tenths a lap, or sorry, 3/10 a lap. The last 2 laps on the leader of Boyd. He's still got just under 2 seconds to catch the 21, but he can see him now. That is Boyd, that first car just off screen as we look at Bohr's journey through the night. He's only made 1 pit stop 56 laps ago.
It's about 2/10 quicker than the other guys, and he has cranked out the best lap of the race at a 22.171.
Ooh, big check up in front of him. What's he going to do? He shoots the middle with a blinking 27 truck to his inside.
Wow.
That's the 27 of Elzy. He's the first truck 1 lap down in 20th. Racing against Prim, they are both 1 lap down. That's for position. Moutre into the wall. Or was that Chafin? No, it was Moutre in that Bucky's 44. So right now, Bryce Bohr is the fastest driver on track. Dakota Osborne about a 10th off his pace, and then Jamie Griffin 3rd fastest, roughly matching the speed of the leader. So right now in the top 6, Henderson is the driver that's a little bit off the pace from everybody else.
14 laps to go.
And this race has flown by. As it looks like it's going to come down to Bohr and Boyd, who had been racing each other all night. It's going to depend on how fast that 57 can get around Henderson, and he did it faster than I could even say it.
He's made that low line work. He's got it really working well for him right now.
So now we're going to be watching this gap between the leader, Michael Boyd, and second place, Bryce Bohr.
Boyd did a 23.580 and Bohr did a 23.355 while he was passing somebody.
Oh, and the 73 holding up our leader just a little bit. That's going to let Bryce get even closer as they are side by side out front. And that's not a knock on the 73. When you're about to go a lap down, you're going to fight tooth and nail to keep that leader behind you. The gap now just 0.6 of a second. That really hurt the 21. It's going to be 10 laps to go at the line. Seven-tenths of a second separate first and second place. Take a look at the lap times.
It really comes down to how much tire Boyd has used as opposed to Bohr.
And that lap was the first one in a while where Boyd was actually faster by just 0.8 of a second. And you got to wonder, if you're Michael Boyd in the 21, when Bryce gets to your back bumper, how hard are you going to fight him for? He's already got 4 wins. He's got a 45-points lead over second place. How hard does he want it?
From what I've seen of Bryce, he just wants to win.
And they're both going by Eller in the 69. We saw that truck up in the top 3 much of the early race, so big fall off there for 69. Bohr a 10th faster that last lap. All right, here's the next question, Lee. When you get to the 21, if you're Bryce, you going inside or outside?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I sit there for a lap or two and
yeah, Bohr scraping the wall.
Bryce is going. Bryce is going to go low no matter what.
6 laps to go as the 21 catches Hayes a lap down, and he tucks in behind him. He's going to have to get by this lap traffic as fast as he can. Really arcs it into turn 3. Trying to get a run here.
Turn 3 looks like his favorite corner.
The 69 with a pit road black flag penalty there. His night only getting worse. As Bryce goes to the inside of the 21. And here comes Henderson. Where did he come from, Lee?
Yeah, Bryce just did. Bryce just did a 23.7. Man, Henderson came out of nowhere. You're right.
I think both of these top 2 trucks hit this lap traffic at just kind of the worst moments, lap after lap, and that has let the 25 back into it. And he gets into Boyd and puts him in the wall. 21 not going to be happy with that. But the 25 thinking he doesn't have time to waste if he wants to try and catch that 57 out front.
And just the slightest touch on the back when you're under that type of acceleration on the exit of 2 will.
Now Henderson slaps the wall as he is getting desperate. Time running out. Bohr is pulling away.
Wow, great race.
Looking at the lap times, yeah, Bohr faster the last 3 laps over Henderson by multiple tenths.
So we've got Henderson, then Boyd, then Moutre's made his way up, and Osborne in 5th, followed by Griffin in 6th, Chafin in 7th, Anthony, Simmons, and Zahidak are the top 10.
And with that, the white flag is out here at Richmond for the Collateral Damage Sports Network Truck Series. Bryce Bohr out front. We're going to get a chance to ask him about that potential EOL early in the race as he came back through the field dominantly, passing for the lead in the closing laps, and he takes the win in Richmond Raceway. Henderson 2nd and Boyd 3rd. What a finish. Oh, and there's heavy contact there right at the end. Boyd and somebody else got into it. I think it was a lap car. I'm going to go back a lap and see what happens here. Oh, I think just Hayes and Boyd both slowing down at the end of the race, tagging the wall, and you can see the frustration there for the 21.
I don't think the 21 was too happy with the way Hayes raced at the end, holding him up. Probably cost him a spot.
Well, we're going to get a chance to talk to all 3 of these drivers. Bryce Bohr winning the race, Henderson in 2nd, and Boyd 3rd. As Bohr is celebrating. As you mentioned, Boyd not going to be happy with the lap traffic that potentially cost him the win there.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I think Bryce had Boyd, but Boyd might have been able to hold off Henderson a little bit better. I don't know. It kind of dropped him back into Henderson's clutches. But what a great drive by Boyd. Bryce again.
Yeah, his 5th win of the season. Just going to extend that points lead. At this point, as long as he shows up for the next 3 races, I think he's got that regular season championship clinched. And he can start focusing now on the playoffs.
There's some other good drives. Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, looking at the biggest gainers of the race, Chafin and Moutre, both double-digit gains, finishing in the top 10. Great races for them. Dakota Osborne also with a top 5 finish after 5 positions gained, and Blake Henderson in 2nd with 4 positions. John Anthony up 3 to 8th. It was a really fast race where some drivers were heading the wrong way and some drivers were heading to the front.
I was just going to touch on a couple of drivers that had, kind of bad races to start off with, like Simmons ended up 9th in the end. Zahidak got back up to 10th. So there's a couple of guys that got back up to at least mid-pack after having some adversity to start off with.
Yeah, one of those drivers, Josh Eller, lost 17 positions over the course of the race to finish 21st. You got a black
Wow.
flag on lap 93. We're going to take a look at that, see if we can get a... Let's see that again. Right there. Yeah, I think he had an unsafe pit exit. Came out above that yellow line a little before the blue cone. I mean, he was already dropping back. I'm not sure why he had to pit there. I mean, I guess he had to on fuel. He had pitted back on lap 26. He should have been able to make it, but came down pit road anyway. Started 4th and finished 21st.
Once again, really impressed with the camera angles that you've been able to provide us tonight. Just right there was a prime example.
Yeah, so we've got our podium drivers up here waiting for an interview. We're going to start with P3. Driver of the 21 truck, Michael Boyd. Michael, heartbreak there at the end of the race, trying to get through lap traffic and stay ahead of the 57. He ends up with the win, but walk us through your night. A great race there for the 21.
Man, in the beginning of the race, I didn't know what was going to happen because I knew, starting outside Bowler, he's really good. I didn't know what I was going to have to give him, but, I started staying on the outside of him in the beginning of the race. I was like, okay, I think I have a shot at this thing. I don't know what happened to him after he came out pit road. I guess he got EOL, something like that. And throughout the rest of the race, I was just trying to save tire for the end, hoping for a caution, get new tires, but that never happened. So I knew I was checking my relative here and there, seeing he's coming up, and I knew I was gonna have to hold him off there at the end. Stephen Hayes, a lap car, I was trying to pass him. He was kind of in my way, and they just got by me. I got into Henderson on the backstretch coming out too. I didn't mean to hit him. I already apologized to him, but I mean, it just sucks to lead 79 laps and not get the win. I'm happy with the third place finish, best finish all season, but it just sucks to finish third when I led most of the race.
Boyd, you were my pick tonight. I was riding every corner with you, buddy. It looks like did you not have the same tire left on your truck as Bryce did there towards the end?
I mean, me and him pitted for tires at the same time. I'm not sure
Yeah.
if he pitted a second time because I only pitted one time for tires. I mean, I guess he just saved better than I did. He's a good driver. I mean, it was fun racing with him, so I guess he just
Yeah,
saved more than I did.
it was interesting because he was holding that lower line, which I would have thought would have chewed up the tires a little harder on exit, but he was able to have a fresher tire. That's what it kind of looked like. But yeah, great job.
Thank you. I mean, I thought the same thing. My tires were pretty much done towards the end. I don't know how he still had tire.
I know. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, man.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah. Hey, is there anyone you want to thank for this evening?
Yes, Burton's Automotive, Wilson Media, Dirty South, second season with them. Every single time I come out, they have like those really fast forward. They always put together real good. You guys up in the booth, every single time you guys do a great job announcing, and everyone at GEC, my friends and family watching, Boyer racing me clean and Henderson racing me clean. I really appreciate it. It's fun racing with these guys each Tuesday.
Yeah, thank you very much, man. Great race.
Thank you. You guys have a good night.
Thank you.
That was driver of the 21, Boyd, coming home third. In second place, though, the number 25 of Blake Henderson. He gets a win last week, breaks up the streak that Bryce was on, but Bryce returns to victory lane. But the 25 almost made a run on him there at the end. Blake, walk us through your night.
Yeah, short race. Kind of wild to go from 100 laps at Pocono and 120 something at Michigan next week to 100 laps at Richmond. So this was definitely a sprint. I'll be frank with you guys. I hate this track. I cannot stand Richmond. It's one of my least favorite tracks, and it's one of the tracks I'm worst at. But I don't know. I was honestly a little frustrated with how I was being raced, especially early in the race. Haven't really ran anyone wrong in the short time I've been here, so I was kind of frustrated getting moved out of the way and getting ran 3 wide. But I just did what I could to maintain the spot I had. And I knew once Boyd got me on the restart, I just didn't know if I had enough. As the run kept going, I'm like, I don't really have enough truck in me to go and get him. So that's why I really didn't give any. I didn't really race Bryce that hard when he passed me because my thinking was like, well, he can catch him, maybe he can catch him, and they slow each other down, and maybe I can get in it that way. But I mean, I'm happy with the second place finish. Wish I could have won, but I just didn't have the I didn't have the talent to do it here.
Yeah, it was really a
Yeah, Blake.
challenging long run there. A couple cautions early, and then you start to think, hey, I'll stay out. I'm sure there'll be more cautions. And then we get the whole second half of the race runs green. Talk us through your pit strategy here. Fuel really not an issue, but tires could have come into it. Were you expecting some cautions later in the race to take advantage of?
I don't know, because I haven't ran with these guys a whole lot. So I didn't really know. Really, my thinking was anything more than 20 laps on a run, I'll probably come and get tires if there's a caution. But if not, you just kind of hope. We weren't going to get too long of a run since it was such a short race. I really wish we could have had about 75 more laps here. But yeah, I don't know. I ran hard trying to catch up to him, and I felt like I could only get about a 10th in one corner, and then I'd lose the 10th in the next corner. So it was a little frustrating for me. It was all on me because I only had 1 and 2 figured out. I was terrible in 3 and 4 all night. So
Yeah, Bryce seemed to be really good in 3 and 4, but you really closed him down in the last 2 laps, last 3 laps. Why was that? You just got a good run? Did they get into each other just a little bit? And yeah, what happened there?
yeah, they definitely got into each other, and they had a lot of lap traffic ahead of them, which was kind of what I
That's
was
right.
hoping for.
Yeah.
Like I said, I didn't really have the. I think I was flatlining with them a lot. I don't think I had anything to really start eating away at their deficit unless something happened. I was close to Bryce, and then Boyd kind of came across my nose on the backstretch and killed any momentum I had. So, go figure. Yeah, but I'm points racing. I was told when I joined the series that I joined too late, and I there's no way I can make the playoffs. But I'm giving it all I can to try and make it in here in these next few races, especially with next week. I'm really looking forward to Michigan.
Yeah, well, great drive here tonight. Is there anyone you want to thank for this evening?
Yeah, just thank the ALR guys, which I'm not technically a part of ALR because I refuse to run those disgusting Chevrolets. I'm a Ford man through and through. But yeah, it's fun racing with Bryce, Moutre, Marcus, and Osborne every week until when he can make it. So, and if you want my mediocre or less than mediocre paints, hit me up.
That's right. Well, great job tonight. Really enjoyed seeing you out there.
Appreciate it, guys.
Next up is going to be our race winner, driver of the 57, 5th win on the season is Bryce Boer. Bryce, you got a copy?
Loud and clear. I got you loud and clear.
All right. I mean, you're running in the top 3 until somewhere around lap 26, and something goes on under the caution. We could not figure out what it was, so you're going to have to tell us what happened there to drop you to the back.
Bring it up to the officials. I don't know what they were doing, what they were looking at. No, I was speeding. So I'm rolling, and my box is at the end, and where the box is at, you have a turn in that corner. And I'm looking at my box. I'm not looking at my speed, and I felt my throttle was okay where it was at. I could have sworn I saw a little bit of red at my peripheral. I didn't bother much with it. Made sure I got in my box, and then I looked up. And I said, "Yeah, I figured I was speeding." So they hit me with a speeding penalty.
Gotcha. I mean, hey, I got the same thing on Thursday night, so great minds think alike. But you recover over the course of the race. You take about 75 laps to drive up to the front and lead just the last few. I mean, just walk us through, what are you thinking? Were you expecting more cautions? We had a lot early, and then it just went green to finish it out.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting much. My flight got delayed on the way here, figuratively speaking. So, landed into the racetrack a little late. Didn't really have much time to figure the car out, so really just put my first lap down there during qualifying. So I only adjusted my brake bias, and these trucks are notorious for running that 12-1, and I cannot stand that 12-1. I didn't realize it until about maybe 30 laps in that I was running a 12-1. So it really upset me because I'm having to turn the wheel more than I feel comfortable with. So I was working my butt off, just trying to get this car to rotate the best I could. I don't think I went as aggressive as I could have with the brake bias. So I was fighting. It was a dog fight. Elbows were up to the ceiling, and yeah, just gotta move where you can. You can't really waste time with such a short track tonight, or not short. Well, yeah, it was a short track, but such a lap counter. It was such a short lapped race that you really couldn't waste your time in traffic. So I took every opportunity that I could, going 3 wide, really just trying to keep my nose straight so I wouldn't affect anybody else's race. But yeah, man, make the most you can out of every lap and really just try to park it where you can in the middle of the corner because I'm telling you, that car was not rotating.
Yeah, 3-wide is always scary here at this place. You also had the quickest time. You did a 22.171 during the
Nice.
race. So really nice job there. We enjoyed watching you come back through the field. One thing I've noticed, because I was watching you last night as well, is that you seem to be a bottom feeder there. You like that bottom line usually more than the top line, and you got that bottom line working so well through 3 and 4. Did you have much brake bias towards the rear when you were entering that under braking there, or what were you doing with your brake bias?
Yeah, yeah. So it's funny you say that because I've been sim racing maybe for 5, 6 years, maybe 6, 7 years. I don't know. I really haven't kept track. Let's just say 7 years. I've been sim racing, and for literally 6 of those 7 years, I've always loved the top. Most tracks like Homestead,
Yeah.
Kansas. You saw Chicagoland. I want the top. Give me the
Yeah.
top. But there are certain tracks, short tracks in particular, that if you even run a lane, 2 lanes up, you run that every lap, you're going to wear your right front. I don't know why the right front wears the way it does. I'm no physicist, but I've just learned you got to bottom feed at these short tracks. You got to do what you can to just hug that paint. I don't know, early entry, hug the paint and just roll through. And really, you got to not earn, but you got to really, fight for that bottom off exit. A lot of people think, okay, I can get to the bottom on entry, bottom and middle. But if you're not keeping the bottom on exit, you're going to kill your stuff. You really got to hug that bottom just to keep the load off the right front somehow. I don't know, no physicist. But yeah, I mean, brake bias is a key. I don't use the brake necessary to manipulate my car. I do it more so to kind of get a feel where my car is gonna wanna bite. So I hit on the brake with a low brake bias, and it kind of just it shakes the rear end. So yeah, low brake bias on the rear end shakes the rear end. So it kind of just points that nose quicker to the left, so I don't have to use my wheel as much. And then once it's pointed to the left, I just kind of you just kind of work with where it's at. You never want to be steering mid corner.
The one thing I've been really impressed with since you've entered the league is your car control from on exit. You're really aggressive on exit. Quite often you're loose, but you have such great car control on exit. So watching you last night and then watching you tonight as well, that's what I was most impressed with. Great job. Is there anyone you want to thank for this evening?
Yeah, thank the guys here at GEC for creating this event for us each and every week. Looking forward to that special event coming up here at 500. I've actually never ran one, so I'm excited. I think that'll
Yeah,
be
it's
really
going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Racing with some of you guys too. Yeah, really gonna look forward to that. That's gonna be a long one, so I'll make sure I do not drink any water at all day. Make sure I'm comfortable in the seat, and then yeah, man, you guys in the booth. Like I said, I always look forward to going back and watching these races. You guys put on probably the greatest show that I've been a part of, at least. And I just, like I said, you guys are fantastic. I show some of my friends, they're like, dude, is that real? I'm like, no, but yes, it is kind of real, technically speaking. So you guys, you do a great job there, and my team. I love their enthusiasm, love their dedication, and just coming out and having something to do Monday and Tuesday nights, man. That's where it's at. You guys have really created us a nice home to come to. So I thank you all.
Well, thank you.
Yep.
That's going to wrap it up for our race leader, Bryce Borer in the 57. Gets his 5th win of the season. Blake Henderson and Michael Boyd also on the podium. Marcus Chafin is the hard charger of the race, up 16 positions. Michael Boyd led the most laps with 79. Then heartbreak there on that final run as Borer and Henderson saved just a little bit more tire there. 4 different leaders with just 4 green flag lead changes and then 5 cautions for 20 laps. That was a fast one, Lee. Any closing thoughts before we wrap this one up here at the I Can See My House From Here 100?
Yeah, I'm really shocked to see how quickly that one disappeared on us. It felt like we had only just started the telecast. Where are we next week?
Let's take a look at our GEC Racing League Collateral Damage Sports Network Truck Series schedule. We're headed to Michigan, Rockingham, and Old Texas to finish out the regular season before we start our playoffs at a road course, Lime Rock Park. One of my favorite road courses. We did that last year here in the Truck Series, and it was a pretty dramatic race. So I'm looking forward to all of these races. Michigan and Rockingham and Texas, kind of traditional tracks, but they're going to be you're going to be fighting and clawing for positions there at that 2-mile track in Michigan International Speedway for sure.
Well, Michigan and Texas are 2 of my favorite tracks. Really looking forward to seeing Michigan next week, seeing what these guys can do, and seeing who can serve it up to Henderson and Boer from the other group.
Yes, sir. So that's going to wrap it up for us here at the CDSN Truck Series here on the GEC Racing League YouTube channel. The I Can See My House From Here 100. For anyone curious, the grandstands there around Turn 1 are the highest structure in Henrico County, and you can, in fact, see my house from there. And that is why the race is called that. But thanks again for watching out on the YouTube channel. We'll see you on Thursday for our Cup Series action at Kentucky. And then next Tuesday, we'll be back here with the Truck Series at Michigan. We'll see you then.
Sun's going down and the rig is on. iRacing is where I belong. Discord's lit and the drivers are here.